Good morning, Michael. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth. A couple nights ago, my wife and I ran out. A friend of mine sent me a picture of a t-shirt he thought I'd like. So, ran out, picked that t-shirt up. It was right next to a Dollar Tree. Ran inside of that Dollar Tree, and I was able to find 6 new movies to add to my horror collection. I thought I would shoot this video and show you what I found. Don't you say it. Don't you say a word. As always, I hope everybody out there is doing well and staying safe. All right, so first up, like I said, I picked up 6 movies. It was all in one store. It's hit or miss with these Dollar Trees anymore. It's like feast or famine. You find a bunch of stuff or you find no stuff, whatever. I ran in there. I picked up my See No Evil and Speak No Evil skeletons last week, and I was trying to find Hear No Evil. This particular Dollar Tree had none of them. Anyway, that's not why you're here. You can probably care less. All right, first up, I picked up something called The Super with Val Kilmer in it. Val Kilmer's all right. I don't know who Val Kilmer is. Val Kilmer's all right. I mean, I think he probably peaked many moons ago with as Doc Holliday in Tombstone, but whatever. All right, let's see. And he's not even listed as being in Tombstone on the back of this. He's listed as being in Top Gun and The Snowman. I freaking hated Top Gun. When tenants of a New York apartment begin disappearing, former cop turned building superintendent suspect. So they suspect murder is roaming in the eerie corridors. You know what? I can't speak this morning. We're going to try that again. When tenants of a New York apartment begin disappearing, former cop turned building superintendent suspects a sadistic murderer is roaming in the eerie corridors. I did read that right. It almost feels like there's a word missing in there, like the guy's name, or whatever. All right, so it sounds okay. Whatever. Okay at best. Probably not. Who the Lord only knows if I'll ever watch that movie. All right, next up. This one, I love the catchphrase on this. The deadliest film ever made. Antrum. Watch if you dare. So who in the world, as a horror fan, could possibly not watch the deadliest film ever made? I'm in. That makes me want to go upstairs and watch this right now, just out of curiosity. Downright creepy, unnerving. Antrum is both a spooky viewing experience and a profound meditation of the power of cinema to inspire and disturb. I don't know what human would actually even put that sentence together. Rumored to have been lost, Antrum appears to be a cursed film from the 1970s. Viewers are warned to proceed with caution. It's said to be a story of a young boy and girl who enter the forest to save a soul of their recently deceased pet. Pet cemetery, right? The journey to the Antrum, the very spot the devil landed after being cast out of heaven. There, the children begin to dig a hole to hell. So that sounds kind of cool. Definitely Pet Cemetery-ish. How many movies can possibly be made about going into the forest or up into the hills and digging a hole and sticking your pet in it and hoping that they come back, your dead pet in it, and hoping that they come back? So, the deadliest film ever made, we'll see. That's a bold statement. Next up, something called Coven. Practicing their craft, killing their prey. One has to assume that this is about witches. Coven and craft on the front cover tells me this has got to be about witches. All right. 5 underground witches come to... First couple words. The third word in. 5 undergrad... Underground. It's undergrad, pardon. 5 undergrad witches come together in order to perform a ritual to invoke the ancient powers of the witch Ashura. A-S-H-U-R-A. Ashura? Doesn't matter. Pardon me. Kind of gross. The leader of the coven gets carried away and accidentally kills one of the witches during the ritual. She needs the strength of a complete coven to invoke Ashura's powers and sends them out to find a final witch. As she absorbs, that's the word, absorbs. Can't read. As she absorbs the power of the surviving girls' plot. As she absorbs the power, there's no comma there. The surviving girls plot to take her down, but the possessed witch unleashes hell on campus with only one young witch left to stop her. I don't know. That really doesn't even sound that interesting to me, to be honest with you. Whatever. That looks like a real young Peg Bundy to me. Whatever. Next up is an anthology. No, yeah, it is an anthology. 8 terrifying tales to haunt your dreams. A night of horror, nightmare radio. Yeah, this is an anthology film. Right on the back of it, it says On Air, the anthology film of the year. Rod leads a very popular radio show dedicated to horror. One day, the show begins to receive strange calls from a child who desperately asks for help. If a kid calls asking for help, that's like sets off many alarms. At first, why is that kid listening to a radio show about horror in the first place? How young is this kid? Many questions. At first, they all think that it's a sick joke until they discover that this is not the case. These calls hide a dark and deadly secret. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like an anthology film. So, of all these movies, this very well could be the first. I don't know. What was that? The deadliest film ever made? I don't know whether I want to watch the deadliest film ever made. I probably want to watch the deadliest film ever made, or that anthology film. Next up is Tara Reid in Art of the Dead. Tara Reid is a Tara Weed. That's probably more appropriate. She's a strange bird, man. You watch her in those Sharknado movies, and she seems like she's getting further and further out there psychologically. She's strange. She seems to have done a lot of work to her head, which makes her look strange on top of it. Don't do drugs, kids. Richard Grieco's in this, too. I haven't seen him. He looks much different than I remember. I remember him being much better looking man than that. All right, Art of the Dead. That writing is small. This is going to suck. When Dylan Wilson, see, parents shouldn't name their kids something that matches the name that they already have. Dylan Wilson. I'd be pissed. When Dylan Wilson purchases a collection of 7 paintings, he has no idea what horrors he has unleashed for himself and his family. He unleashed a horror by buying paintings. Only Father Mendale knows what evil lurks inside the deadly art and the history of Dorian Wilde. That's Zach Wilde's older brother. The artist who made a pact with the dark forces when he created these paintings that represent the 7 deadly sins. All right, so now I understand why there's 7 paintings. Now, anyone who comes in contact with these pictures are corrupted by pride, lust, gluttony, sloth, greed, envy, and wrath. Comes in contact with them? That's too much. Buys them, owns them, touches them, chews on them, whatever, but comes in contact with them is too much. It's up to Father Mendale to save Dylan and his family before they are all destroyed by the art of the dead. I'm curious, I must say, but I think that comes in contact with is a bit much. That kind of looks like like a combination of a pit bull puppy and Swamp Thing. All right, and the 6th and final movie I picked up was something called Crying Wolf. Love a good werewolf movie. Funny, gory, sexy, and above all, massively entertaining throughout. Promote the hell out of this. When the howling starts, the killing begins. It looks cool. I'll give it that right off the bat. Look at that glare. There's your boy, reflecting off of a werewolf. All right, one of the most memorable independent movies. That's all it says. Not of the year, not of the week, not of yesterday. Just one of the most memorable independent movies. Wouldn't that be like Halloween and Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity? All right. Pardon me. There are a lot of strange and weird goings on in the little village of Deadington. Village called Deadington. Gotta move, folks. For centuries, a pack of werewolves have resided in the sleepy town. But when... Now, hold on. The village of Deadington has werewolves in there that have been there for... Whatever, man. Have resided in the sleepy town, but when local girl Charlotte meets a particularly gruesome death, the town is descended upon by reporters, crazy detectives, and lunatic hunters, desperate to get their story, solve the crime, and kill the beasts. But when the wolves are smart, but these wolves are smart, very smart. This is very poorly written. Very poorly written. Whatever. All right, so this sounds ridiculous. Looks good. Sounds awful. Whatever. We'll see. Maybe we'll check this out soon. I don't know. I don't know what she is. I don't know what that's going on there. That girl looks kind of annoyed more than anything. There's the werewolf. That looks like she's starving to death and she's been in the middle of eating a raw steak. Whatever. Now, what was that last thing? That's like a poor attempt at a werewolf transformation. Whatever. Not everybody has a budget. Now my movies are falling. All right, that's it. Hopefully I'll get to some of them things soon. I got some time off coming, and I'm going to sit down and start trying to rifle through these Dollar Tree movies. I got to do it. All right, I'm getting out of here. If you guys like this... Pardon me. Throat's driving me crazy this morning. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point and all my blathering and poor reading and all that goes with it, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. Happy Monday, folks. Have a great day.